Drunk at a family dinner, I slammed the table and shouted, Lu Feifei, there's a scar on your inner thigh, and I'm the one who bit it. Oh my, then when are you going to be my son-in-law? Humph. I'd rather become a nun than marry an ungrateful brat like you. Even if every woman on earth died, I still wouldn't marry you. Later, I returned home from studying abroad. My parents told me to pick her up for dinner at our place, but I saw her new boyfriend at the bar instead. When he found out I was looking for Lu Feifei, the guy shoved me right to the door. A toad trying to eat swan meat, huh? Everyone knows Lu Feifei is a neat freak when it comes to relationships. She doesn't even glance at other men besides her boyfriend. What's going on here? Lu Feifei. Ah Chen, what are you doing here? Haha, not bad. I thought you'd forgotten about me. This guy actually dares to talk to Miss Lu like that. What's wrong? Throwing such a huge temper tantrum the moment you get back? Do you have any idea how much trouble I went through just to come find you? Am I seeing things? Is the person in front of me really the usual Miss Lu? Alright. Look at your messy hair. Is this homeless artist look the new trend abroad? It's all thanks to you. What did I do? I just found out you were back, okay? This boyfriend of yours is really something. I came in looking for you, and he started giving me a hard time and even shoved me. Lu Feifei, you've got great taste. Han Xuan, did you touch him? Who gave you the nerve to lay a hand on him? Miss Lu, please listen to me. It's not what he said. It was him. His attitude was way too arrogant. And besides, what right does he have to call you by your full name? He's disrespecting you. I got mad, so what right does he have? The right that I gave him. How he calls me is none of your damn business. I was still a bit pissed off, but hearing her say that made me feel a whole lot better. Haha. I've liked Lu Feifei for a very long time. I've never seen any man dare to act so cocky in front of Lu Feifei. I bet all her past boyfriends had to call her Miss Lu. No one has ever been an exception. Miss Lu. I really didn't know. I didn't know he was so close to you. I'm sorry. I really had no idea. I originally wanted to teach this guy a lesson, but how can I do that when he's acting like this? But to be honest, this guy is actually pretty smart, and he definitely knows Lu Feifei well, to know that apologizing frantically right now is the only way out. Alright, handle it yourself. Han Xuan, tell me, what should I do with you? I'm sorry, it's my fault. I shouldn't have gotten physical without asking first. I'm sorry. No need to hit him. If you keep beating him up like this, it'll just look like we're bullying him with our status. Let's go. Come back with me. If you guys want to keep partying, go ahead. If not, just head home. I'm leaving first. Oh right, where's my phone? Miss Lu, your phone is right here. Seeing the phone, the frustration of not being able to reach her earlier suddenly bubbled up again. Lu Feifei, I called you earlier, and you actually didn't recognize my voice. Plus, I didn't have money for the cab ride here. I tried calling you for help, and you didn't even pick up. If you're not going to use your phone, just throw it away. It was so loud in the private room. Isn't it normal that I couldn't recognize your voice? What's going on with you anyway? Coming back to the country so suddenly, and looking for me this late at night. Do you have something important to say? In the past, whenever I came back for the new year, I was never this eager to find her. Ah Chen, don't tell me you suddenly realized that you've fallen for me? Rushing over to find me so anxiously, and even picking a fight with my ex-boyfriend. Tell me, are you trying to confess your love to me? Your skin is getting thicker and thicker. Huh. Can't I even make a joke? You spent a few years in the US and lost all your sense of humor. I'm in a bad mood tonight. If you dare joke around with me when I'm in a bad mood, you're just asking for it. Spit it out. What do you want from me? I need you to open the door. I don't have the keys to your place. Just call my mom. Not only will someone open the door for you, they'll even line up to welcome you. Wait, that's not right. Which place of mine are you talking about? Don't tell me you mean the apartment I'm living in right now? Yeah, why else would I come looking for you? I shot her a disdainful look. Why do you want to come to my apartment? It's so late. Even if you just need a place to crash, just go find my mom. Why are you looking for me? Even though she vaguely sensed that something was off, she didn't want to confirm that her feeling was right. She'd rather be wrong. So you didn't know either, huh? We both got played by Godmother. Relax. I'm a victim here too. I understand how you feel. What the hell is going on? Why do I suddenly have to live with Gu Chen? I can't accept this. Even if he is my childhood friend who I grew up with, it's still a no. We haven't even kissed or anything. I didn't say anything at that moment. I just thoughtfully gave Lu Feifei some time to process the information. I just stood to the side, waiting quietly, until someone came charging at me aggressively. He said fiercely, "Hey, kid, hurry up and give me the money. Are you trying to bail on the fare?" It was the taxi driver. I suddenly remembered that I was in such a rush earlier, that I just got out of the car without paying. Sorry about that, man. I'll pay you right now. I knew my pockets were cleaner than my face right now, so I pulled Lu Feifei, who was still zoning out, over to my side. Feifei, lend me some cash. I'm broke. I can't even afford the cab fare. Look for yourself if you don't believe me. With that, I turned both my pockets inside out right in front of her. Then I threw my hands up. Lu Feifei was completely speechless. She had no choice but to walk over to the driver. She said politely, "Sir, how much is his cab fare? I'll pay for him." The driver looked Lu Feifei up and down. His eyes landed on the designer bag she was carrying. Then he thought, This trip was definitely worth it. I hit the jackpot. This little girl looks like she's got more money than brains. I can charge her whatever I want. Hey there, pretty lady. This handsome young man's fare here is 480. Here's the payment code. Just scan this. Hearing this, I took a big step forward and demanded, doesn't your meter say 48? Where the hell did 480 come from? Buddy, do you want me to file a complaint? I was so mad I wanted to curse him out. But Lu Feifei stepped in front of the driver. She said with excessive sweetness, Sir, 480, right? I'll scan it. Hey, all right, just scan right here. Hey. I've already saved the payment receipt. I'm sure it'll come in handy very soon. The next second, the driver's smile froze and his face turned pale. He thought he could extort some money, but he ended up getting played instead. I was wrong. Please don't complain. I have elderly parents and young kids to feed. What will I do if I lose my job? I have a family to feed. Please just let me off the hook. Lu Feifei ignored his crying and pleading. She made a call on her phone. A moment later, bodyguards rushed over. This guy is so annoying. Handle him however you see fit. Don't worry, Miss Lu. I'll give you a satisfactory result. After the bodyguard said that, he ignored the driver's resistance, forcefully grabbed him, and dragged him away. Watched the driver get dragged into an alley by the bodyguards. I could faintly hear screams coming from inside. Let's go. Time to go home. I nodded and got into Lu Feifei's car. With a loud roar of the engine, the car quickly sped away from the bar. Soon, we arrived at Lu Feifei's luxury apartment. Just as I was about to pull my luggage inside, I suddenly stopped in my tracks. I turned to look at Lu Feifei and suggested, add my fingerprint to the lock. It'll make it easier for me to open the door. No way. Why should I add your fingerprint? I put down my luggage and crossed my arms, mimicking her posture, because starting today, I'm living here. If you don't add my fingerprint, how am I supposed to get in and out? Then I walked up to Lu Feifei, leaned close to her ear, and teased in a low voice, could it be that Miss Lu wants to be my personal maid? Doing nothing all day but opening and closing the door for me? Living here? Hey, who said you could live here from now on? Did you even get my permission? This is my private territory. Even though we're childhood friends, that doesn't mean you're welcome to invade my personal space. Godmother told me to live here. You think I want to? Gu Chen, earlier, you said I got played by my mom. What did you mean by that? It has to do with this. Oh, Miss Lu is pretty smart, huh? You finally caught on. I nodded affirmatively. I teased her a bit, but afraid she'd get mad. I then explained seriously, because you and I are getting engaged soon. So they want us to live together, to cultivate our feelings for each other. Lu Feifei wondered if she had heard wrong. What did you just say? Me and you? Engaged? What the hell is this? Anyway, that's how it is. As for the exact reasons, you'll have to ask Godmother yourself. I'm a bit tired. To be honest, I'm exhausted right now. I'm going to get some rest. Bye-bye. With that, I waved at her and dragged my luggage toward the bedroom. Lu Feifei yanked me back. You explain this to me clearly first. Otherwise, you're not going anywhere. I let her pull me and just collapsed onto the sofa. I didn't say a word, just lay there like a log, proving with my actions that I was truly exhausted. You're just as infuriating as when we were kids. You haven't changed a bit. I'm calling home tomorrow. I'll have my mom take you back to the main estate. I'm staying here. Hearing this, I sat up from the sofa, scratched my head, and said in confusion, didn't I just tell you? Starting today, I'm living here with you. Do you not understand English? Lu Feifei glared at me and said, this whole engagement thing, I will never agree to it. Well, since you don't agree, go back and tell your parents yourself, and Grandpa Lu too. I don't get to call the shots. Hearing this, she frowned again. Grandpa is involved too? What kind of mess is this? Seeing how frustrated she was, I suggested, how about you go back the night after tomorrow? Just make a trip back. If there's anything you don't understand, just ask them directly. Hearing this, Lu Feifei felt a bit defiant. Why do you get to stay out of this? No way. You have to come back with me. I shrugged indifferently. Sure. She'd have to accept the final outcome anyway. Going back wasn't a bad idea. The scene would probably be pretty lively. I wouldn't have to worry about being bored this time. Hee. Oh, right. You're going to school tomorrow morning, right? Don't forget to wake me up. Why would you go to school with me? I sat on the sofa, smiling at her. Because starting tomorrow, I'm transferring to your school. Lu Feifei gave me an, are you serious? Look, she stood frozen in place for a long time, but I didn't care. I just hummed a little tune and went into the bathroom. After I washed up and changed into my pajamas, I called out to Lu Feifei, I'm going to sleep. Early the next morning, even though Lu Feifei was extremely reluctant, she couldn't just leave me behind, so she still brought me to school. The university Lu Feifei attended was an elite aristocratic school. The campus was so beautiful it didn't even look like a school. It looked more like a luxury villa district. When we were still a few hundred meters away from the school, I shouted, stop. Drop me off right here. Lu Feifei stopped the car. She looked at me in confusion and asked, we're not at school yet. Why are you getting out? I raised an eyebrow, smiled at Lu Feifei, and replied smoothly, because I'm smart. With someone like you, Miss Liu, a total superstar on campus, if I walk into the school right next to you, I probably won't have a single day of peace. So, to avoid trouble, I'm getting out early." Lu Feifei frowned, looking even more confused. What kind of nonsense is that? Even though she didn't understand what I was talking about, she still didn't want to let me off the hook. "Oh Gu Shen, how did you get so cowardly after a trip abroad? Are you really afraid of trouble? Or are you just scared to be seen with me?" She leaned in closer as she spoke, clearly trying to make a fool out of me. Her unique scent lingered right at the tip of my nose. My ears turned red, and my eyes darted away. I said loudly, "How is that possible? Why would I be afraid of them? Lu Feifei, are you looking down on me?" Hearing my response, Lu Feifei revealed a sly smile. "Then let's go. Let's walk into campus together." "Fine, let's go. Whoever backs out is a dog." Lu Feifei didn't say anything. She just sped up and drove the car into the campus. Once we reached the parking lot, I ignored Lu Feifei, got straight out of the car, and walked away. I was strolling around the campus, waiting. I had no idea where Lu Feifei went. Just as I turned around to head back, I accidentally bumped right into a girl wearing glasses. The girl let out a soft gasp as I bumped into her. Her lively eyes shimmered with unshed tears. I quickly looked at her and said apologetically, "I'm so sorry. Are you okay?" "It's fine. I wasn't watching where I was going either." "Are you new here? I haven't seen you around campus before." "Yeah, I guess you could say that. I actually just transferred here today." "Since you're new here, why don't I show you around the campus?" "Did you come alone? Or did you come with someone else?" I was just about to say I came with Lu Feifei, but I was still a bit annoyed and didn't want to bring her up. So I replied, "I came by myself." "Thank you. I'd appreciate the tour. I'm Gu Chen. By the way, what's your name?" The girl smiled, her eyes curving into crescents, and replied, "Nice to meet you, Gu Chen. I'm Zhou Miao." So we walked and chatted along the way. The atmosphere was very pleasant. Meanwhile, Lu Feifei had parked the car. When she walked out of the parking lot and didn't see me, she couldn't help but frown. She thought to herself, "Gu Chen, oh Gu Chen, you really never give me a moment of peace. Did I get myself a fiancé? Or adopt a little brother?" She sighed. She stood there for a moment, then she tried calling my phone. Seeing that I wasn't picking up, she had no choice but to call the principal. She explained the situation to him, and then started looking for me around campus. As for me, my phone had died a long time ago, so I had no idea that Lu Feifei was going crazy looking for me. "Gu Chen, you stupid jerk. Just wait till I get my hands on you." Zhou Miao and I were having a great conversation. I also found out that Zhou Miao had excellent grades. She was always ranked first in the whole school, so I casually teased her. In an elite university like ours, there's definitely a campus beauty ranking, right? "Look at you, Zhou Miao. You're pretty, you have a gentle personality, and you're great at studying, always taking first place in the school. You must be the campus beauty, right?" "Gu Chen, thank you for the compliment, but I'm really not the campus beauty. I don't qualify to be the campus beauty." "No way. You don't count as the campus beauty?" "Zhou Miao, you're so pretty. If you don't count as the campus beauty, wait a minute. Don't tell me the campus beauty is Lu Feifei?" Hearing me say that name, Zhou Miao lowered her head. Then she adjusted her glasses. "You know her? She's really popular at school, isn't she? I heard she has a lot of boyfriends." "You're a popular guy too. Even though you're in different grades, you probably know her, right?" "I know her, but we're not close. She does have a lot of boyfriends. As long as it's a handsome guy, she wants to be friends with him." "Do you like her too?" "Her? She's just a player. I definitely don't like her." "Really? I thought he was just another one of Lu Feifei's admirers." But when this Gu Chen mentions Lu Feifei, he doesn't have that look of admiration or deep longing on his face. This Gu Chen is quite interesting. I don't like her type at all. If I had to choose, I think you're way better than her. What's so great about her anyway? She just relies on being rich and pretty. Her personality is terrible. Whoever likes her is just out of luck. Zhou Miao was hearing someone evaluate Lu Feifei like this for the first time. She couldn't help but look at me in surprise, as if I were some kind of alien. When she saw me make a face of utter disgust, she couldn't hold back a laugh. "You're really funny." She felt a bit closer to me. The sense of distance between us was gone. I quickly tried to get closer to her. "I still don't know which class I'm in." "Zhou Miao, tell me which class you're in. I can come hang out with you often. After all, I just got back to the country. Can I come to you if there's anything I don't understand?" A top student like Zhou Miao, who is both pretty and smart, and we hit it off so well. Of course, I have to befriend her. Having capable and smart friends is never a bad thing. They'll definitely come in handy in the future. "Sure. My classroom is on the 3rd floor. If you have any questions, just come find me." At that moment, I looked around the campus. There wasn't a single person in sight. They must have all gone to class. I said to Zhou Miao, "Then I won't keep you from your class. A new student like me should probably go report to the principal's office. I'll find you when I'm free. Bye-bye." With that, I headed toward the administration building. Meanwhile, the principal was stunned when he saw me in his office. Then he stood up and very attentively brought out fruits and drinks to host me. "Young Master Gu, please have a seat and wait a moment. Then he stepped out and made a call to Lu Feifei to tell her that I was in his office. Miss Lu, young Master Gu is in the principal's office right now. Hearing that Lu Feifei had confirmed it, he even added obsequiously, "Ah, all right then. Miss Lu, you don't need to come all the way here. Just head back to class. I'll have a teacher escort young Master Gu to his class shortly." After Lu Feifei hung up, the principal finally breathed a sigh of relief. Then he went back into the office and made another call. Not long after, a man walked in. He wore black-rimmed glasses and looked very strict. He respectfully asked the principal, "Principal, what did you need me for?" "This is the new transfer student, Gu Chen." Student Gu. He previously attended an elite high school abroad. His grades are outstanding. Take him to your class. He's a key student for our school to cultivate. Do you understand? As for the hidden meaning in the principal's words, the male teacher understood perfectly. Understood. Then he led me away. Soon, I followed the teacher to the classroom door, and I thought to myself, just now in the principal's office, when I heard the principal say my grades were outstanding, I had to try really hard not to laugh out loud. But honestly, coming back to study was just for fun anyway, so none of it really mattered. The teacher looked pleased. He led me inside and said to the students, "This is our new transfer student, Gu Chen. Introduce yourself. Let everyone get to know you." "Hey everyone, I'm Gu Chen. Gender, male. Hobbies, women. Please take care of me from now on." Hearing my introduction, the students all burst out laughing. Many of them started whispering to each other. I looked around the room, trying to see if there were any pretty girls. Of course, I was going to choose to sit next to a pretty girl. At least it would be easy on the eyes, I thought to myself. Maybe because it's an elite school? At first glance, there really were a few pretty girls. Unfortunately, I had just met Zhou Miao. Compared to her, they just didn't make the cut. At this moment, Mr. Wei cleared his throat and said, "Ahem. Gu Chen, who would you like to sit with? As long as they're willing, you can sit anywhere." As soon as the teacher said that, all the girls in the room stood up excitedly. Everyone started talking at once. "Gu Chen, come sit with me. I'll buy you breakfast every day, okay? My grades are really good. Come sit with me. I'll help you with any schoolwork problems. And I'll buy you snacks every day. Handsome, handsome. You can boss me around however you want." That last comment earned her boos from the rest of the class. I thought they were all pretty amusing. I thought for a moment, then asked, "Who's the prettiest girl in our class?" To my surprise, everyone froze when they heard that. Then they all turned to look at one specific spot, but their expressions were a bit weird. I followed the class's gaze and looked over. I saw it was the very last seat in the row by the window. Did the prettiest girl not show up today? I, Gu Chen, obviously have to pick the prettiest one. Both seats there were empty, so I smiled and walked over. I sat down in the empty seat. "Mr. Wei, I'll sit right here." Mr. Wei's expression was a bit strange. He said awkwardly, "If you like it, go ahead." "All right, quiet down. Make sure to take care of our new classmate. Be united and friendly. Got it? All right, let's continue with the lesson." At this point, who was even in the mood to listen to the lecture? The girls were all craning their necks to sneak peeks at me, while the guys were sizing me up and comparing themselves to me, looking my way. After class, I felt bored, so I decided to go find Lu Feifei to see what kind of carefree life she was living. I walked to the second floor of the teaching building and went straight to the second classroom to look for her. When I got there, I looked around, and sure enough, I spotted Lu Feifei. Damit. She was actually flirting with some random guy. No matter how you look at it, we're engaged now. It's totally normal for me to be a little jealous, right? I thought to myself. This Lu Feifei is going too far. She knows it's my first day at school. I don't know anything or anyone. I walked so far with Zhou Miao, and she didn't even come looking for me. Instead, she's busy flirting with some little boy. I'm so pissed. At that moment, my eyes darted around. "Lu Feifei, since you're being heartless, don't blame me for being ruthless. Just you wait. Hey, classmate, could you call Lu Feifei for me? Just tell her that her husband is looking for her, please." Oh, okay. I'll go right now. So cute. Lu Feifei, your husband is looking for you." The previously noisy classroom instantly fell dead silent. I could totally imagine everyone's eyes popping out of their heads. A few minutes later, I saw Lu Feifei walking over with a deadpan expression. I waved at her to show her where I was. "Gu Chen, I knew it was you. You came here just to cause trouble, didn't you? Lu Feifei, you only care about talking to other guys and completely ignore me. Just wait until we get back to the Lu estate tonight. I'm going to tell Godmother on you." Lu Feifei sai hun si, Gu Chen, what exactly do you want? I haven't even settled the score with you for this morning. You got out of the car and ran off, and you didn't even pick up your phone. Do you have any idea how hard I looked for you? After saying that, she looked at me with a wronged expression. I didn't pay attention to her resentful gaze. I just kept peeking behind her. And sure enough, I saw the guy who was just with Lu Feifei. He had followed her out and was looking our way, just as I thought. So, feeling mischievous, I directly pulled her into my arms. The guy's face turned red with anger when he saw what I did. He clenched his fists but didn't dare come over, because he remembered Miss Lu's rules. He could only watch as I led her away. Gritting his teeth in anger, I pulled her away from the crowd. Lu Feifei finally reacted. She swatted my hand off her shoulder. Then she glared at me and asked, "Who gave you the nerve to treat me like this? Have I been too nice to you? I'm innocent. I just saw you getting all cozy with some guy and got a little jealous. So I came up with this idea. It was just to intimidate that guy and make him stay away from you, and to let everyone know that you're my fiancé. I really didn't mean any harm. Forgive me, please. I'll treat you to lunch. Gu Chen, can you please behave from now on? Stop causing trouble for me, okay? I just want to attend my classes in peace. Can you grant me that one wish?" So I quickly changed the subject and said, "Are you hungry? Let's go eat, so we can go to class after." With that, I dragged Lu Feifei toward the cafeteria. As soon as we got to the cafeteria, Lu Feifei saw her classmates, so she waved at me and walked over to them, leaving me all alone. Just as I was worrying about not finding a table, I turned around and saw a girl eating quietly. So I walked over and asked, "Hi there. There are no empty tables left. Do you mind if I share this table with you?" The girl stared at me for a long time, before replying coldly, "Sure." After sitting down, I sneaked a peek at her delicate face, and thought to myself, this girl is so pretty. That cold, aloof vibe is really attractive. It makes you want to get to know her better. I didn't say anything. I just quickly finished my food. After returning to the classroom, the first class of the afternoon was literature. At that moment, I noticed that my classmate, who hadn't shown up for a long time, had finally appeared. I took a closer look. Ah, isn't this the girl I shared a table with? So I happily whispered to her, "What a coincidence. We meet again." The girl didn't say anything. She just gave me a cold glance, then nodded to show she remembered. Then I pushed my luck and asked her, "What's your name?" "I'm Gu Chen. I just transferred to this school." The girl stayed silent and just frowned. Seeing her ignore me made me feel a bit rebellious. I wanted to talk to her even more. "Hey, pretty lady, what's your name?" Finally, as if she was annoyed by my questions, she wrote the name Yu Xin on a piece of paper and tossed it to me. Now that I knew her name, I stopped bothering her. This class was basically a hypnosis session for me. It kept making me doze off. In contrast, Yu Xin, sitting next to me, was paying close attention. I even got called on by the teacher to answer a question. I finally survived until the end of class. As soon as the teacher walked out of the classroom, I stretched and prepared to catch up on my sleep. I put my head down and slept like the dead. When Yu Xin finally patted me awake, I realized we were the only two left in the classroom. Yu Xin said coldly, "School's over. Are you going to keep sleeping?" Seeing that I still looked a bit dazed, she let out a soft chuckle. Then she added, "If you don't leave soon, the security guard is going to lock the doors. Are you sure you want to spend the night here?" I instinctively shook my head and quickly got up to leave. As I was about to leave the classroom, I turned back and said to Yu Xin, "Thanks for waking me up. I'll get going then. It's getting late. You should hurry up and leave too. It's not safe for a girl to go home too late, right?" With that, I walked straight out, leaving Yu Xin sitting alone in her chair, staring in the direction I left with a smile on her face. After I left the classroom, I was about to call Lu Feifei to ask where she was. I called her several times, but she didn't pick up. What is Lu Feifei up to now? Didn't we agree to go back to the Lu estate tonight? By the time I finally got a hold of Lu Feifei, she just casually said, "I'm already at the main estate. Hurry up and get here. The whole family is waiting for you to eat. Why didn't you bring me with you? Feifei, you're really something. Just wait until I get back to the estate. See how I tattle on you to godmother. Just you wait." I walked to the school gate to catch a cab. While I was waiting, I boredly kicked some pebbles. Then I saw Yu Xin, slowly walking out of the campus. We both froze when we saw each other, and asked in unison, "Why haven't you left yet?" Just then, her driver pulled up to the curb in a black car. Yu Xin was about to get in, but seeing me still waiting by the side of the road, she hesitated for a moment. Mustering up a lot of courage, she took the initiative to ask, "Where are you going? Do you need a ride? This school is pretty far from the city center." "No, it's fine. My ride will be here any minute. You should head back. See you tomorrow." "Oh." The car quickly drove away. Not long after Yu Xin's car left, my cab arrived to Tanshan Courtyard. It didn't take long to arrive at the Lu family's main estate. I got out of the car and walked up to the villa's iron gates, and saw a row of servants standing in a line, shouting in unison, "Welcome back, young master." I was startled by the grand reception. Then I recovered my senses, waved at the servants, and walked inside. As soon as I walked in, someone next to me suddenly popped out, scaring the crap out of me. A bunch of confetti fell all over me. Chen is back. Haha. Seeing the two of us standing together, Mother Lu and the others smiled in satisfaction. Then they pulled us into the banquet hall. I saw that the living room was decorated very festively, and they had invited quite a few people. Everyone was dressed very formally. My eyebrow twitched. I looked at Lu Feifei in confusion. Lu Feifei whispered in my ear, "This is the engagement party our moms threw for us. Because my mom said there's no time like the present. Since we're both back anyway, they decided to just hold it today. Have you accepted reality now? Not going to fight it anymore?" Lu Feifei was just about to snap back at me, but seeing some guests walking toward us, she smiled and linked her arm through mine, and gave me a hard pinch. After the guests left, we immediately let go of each other. Just as we were about to start bickering again, we heard Mother Lu call out, "Ah Chen! Feifei, where are you two? come look at this. For your engagement party, I custom ordered a beautiful cake. You're going to love it. Hearing this, I facepalmed helplessly and replied, coming. We'll be right there. I grabbed Lu Feifei and dragged her toward the cake as I spoke. When we got there, we saw a 10-tier cake. It was absolutely gorgeous. It looked like a castle. It was literally the cake of every girl's dreams. I sneaked a peek at Lu Feifei's expression. I saw her looking at the cake, her eyes curving into crescents. Her eyes were filled with joy. Then Father Lu suddenly patted my shoulder and solemnly instructed me, you have to take good care of Feifei from now on. Got it? I'm entrusting her to you. Don't let her down. Grandpa Lu nodded. His usually stern face also bore a joyful smile. He added, seeing you and Feifei together makes me very happy. As long as you two are happy and harmonious, that's better than anything else. After saying that, he also patted my shoulder. Hearing this, Lu Feifei pouted in dissatisfaction, so nobody even bothered to ask me if I actually want to marry him. But seeing Grandpa's stern look, she didn't dare to say no directly, in front of so many people, so she had to let it go. I hereby officially announce that Ah Chen and Feifei are officially engaged to help them cultivate their feelings. And since they haven't graduated yet, there's no rush for them to get married right away. Haha. Once Lu Feifei graduates, they can go abroad to get married. Lu Feifei glared at me speechlessly. What's that supposed to mean? You don't want to marry me? I haven't even complained about you yet, and you're complaining about me? Then Lu Feifei motioned for me to lower my head. Ah Chen, don't tell me you've been secretly in love with me this whole time? Is that why you want to marry me so badly? I was initially feeling my heart race, because of her proximity and her rare gentle tone, but I didn't want to admit it, so I shot her a look, pulled away, and said, Miss Lu, you can't be this narcissistic. Who's secretly in love with you? I was forced into this too, okay? Well, since you don't want this either, then let's fight this together. I'm sure my dad loves you enough that he wouldn't force you to marry someone you don't like. Just go cry to my dad a little. He'll soften up, and maybe we won't have to get married. Hearing that last sentence, Lu Feifei frowned and retorted defiantly, then why can't you be the one to bring it up? Why do I have to be the one to say we're not a good match? My rebellious side flared up too, so I said, I'm not bringing it up. What are you going to do about it? Then, I felt it was necessary to remind her, but no matter what, our engagement is a done deal. I suggest you just accept your fate. You're actually accepting your fate? I threw my hands up. I've already accepted it. Lu Feifei, what are you so worried about? If we actually get married, it won't be until after we both graduate. Who knows what might happen between now and then? Maybe we won't even have to get married. After hearing my enlightenment, Lu Feifei changed her tune. What do I have to be worried about? If we get married, we get married. It's just gaining a husband. Nothing wrong with that. What are you doing? Hey, Shen, you underestimate me way too much. I don't think you understand women at all. Want to give it a try? Bring it on. I didn't expect you to be so proactive. My dear Ah Chen, since you're so passionate, then I won't hold back. Just as I was about to continue, I suddenly felt a strong sense of being watched. I immediately pulled away and realized that almost all the guests were staring at us. My ears instantly turned red. Oh my god, we were so caught up in messing around that we forgot we were still at our engagement party. This is so embarrassing. Good-natured laughter from the elders echoed behind us. I hurriedly grabbed Lu Feifei and dragged her outside. It's all your fault, pinning me against the wall in public like that. Now look what happened. Everyone saw us. What do we do now? I replied nonchalantly. What's the point of dwelling on it now? It's our engagement party anyway. What's wrong with us being a little affectionate? We eventually made it back to the luxury apartment. When we got to the door, I looked down and used my fingerprint to unlock it. Just then, Lu Feifei's phone rang. Is it my mom? Lu Feifei got a headache just seeing the caller ID. She had a sudden, inexplicable bad feeling. Feifei, I forgot to tell you something. I had someone remodel your apartment a bit. You two are engaged now. From now on, you'll sleep in the same room. That's the only way to cultivate your feelings quickly. Got it? Remodel? Mom, how did you even let people in? Right then, I walked in and looked around. Something felt off. I looked back at Lu Feifei and asked, why does the room look like this? Did we get robbed? Lu Feifei instantly understood what had happened. She let out a dry laugh. Mom, don't tell me you remodeled Ah Chen's room too? Of course I did. Mother Lu replied self-righteously. I absolutely forbid you two from sleeping in separate rooms. You have to sleep together from now on. Got it? If you don't listen, I'll send you abroad immediately. You can get married much earlier abroad. You figure it out yourselves. Ugh. I know. I bought some gifts and left them on the bed for you. Mem. Mother Lu laughed somewhat mysteriously on the other end of the line. You can open them yourselves later. I won't disturb your rest any longer. Good night. Moi. With that, she hung up the phone. After hearing that, Lu Feifei had a really bad feeling. When we both walked into the bedroom, we saw a box sitting on the bed. It was pretty big. What kind of gift? I happily opened the box. Godmother is so nice to us. It's actually balloons. She bought a whole box of balloons. Wait, why did Godmother buy so many balloons? Lu Feifei, who had just hung up the phone, looked at my shocked expression and leaned over curiously. What is it? Is it really that surprising? When she saw what was in the box, her face turned bright red. Her Her eyes darted away, and she stayed completely silent. We just stared at each other. Then we both burst out laughing. I looked at the box and said, "There's got to be hundreds of them in here. Giving us this many. How long is it going to take to use them all? Who wants to use them with you? Why are you so full of yourself? What are you so shy about? We're engaged anyway. Guchen, you pavet. Ha ha ha." We messed around for a bit. Then I asked, "So what do we do tonight?" Lu Feifei's smile instantly froze. There didn't seem to be any good solution. I stayed silent for a moment. Then I suggested, "It's getting late. You sleep on the bed, and I'll go sleep on the sofa. It's settled. Good night, sweet dreams." Without waiting for Lu Feifei to respond, I went to the living room to sleep. Early the next morning, after I washed up, I sat on the sofa, waiting for Lu Feifei while playing on my phone to pass the time. I played for a long time, but Lu Feifei still didn't come out, so I knocked on the door. There was no response at first, so I pushed the door open and walked in. Lu Feifei, wake up, we're gonna be late for school." Late? After a little while, Lu Feifei came out of her bedroom, fully dressed. She said to me, "Let's go. Hurry." I nodded, so we sped off toward the school. When we arrived, there were still 5 minutes before class started. I sat in my seat, happily thinking, awesome, didn't end up late. "Yeah," Yushin replied to me faintly. Then she smiled at me again. Just that slight curve of her lips made me space out for a moment. Soon after, the school bell rang. The teacher walked in and started the class, kicking off another boring, routine day. Halfway through the class, I felt incredibly annoyed. I just wasn't in the zone, so I just made up an excuse and slipped out. I planned to head out of the school gates and take a walk. When I got to the main gate, just as I was about to walk out, the security guard stopped me. The middle-aged guard said strictly, "Student, you can't go out. Please show your leave pass." I replied, "I don't have a leave pass, but I really have something to take care of outside. I already cleared it with my counselor. I only recognize the leave pass. If you don't have one, you're not leaving this campus. Or you can call your homeroom teacher. Having them explain it to me over the phone works too." I was skipping class to begin with. If I called my counselor, would I even live to see tomorrow's sun? This guard was way too strict. I didn't say a word and just walked away. I found a perimeter wall and just hopped right over it. Once I was out, in a moment of hot-headedness, I called the principal and said, "Hello, Principal. It's Gu Chen. Our school's security guards sure are dedicated to their duties." After saying that, I didn't even wait for the principal's response. I just hung up the phone. I went back to my luxury apartment to catch up on sleep. "Ah Chen, why is this kid suddenly bringing up the security guards? Did something happen?" "Sigh, whatever. I'll call the head of security and ask, 'Hello, is this the security office? I heard your security office is extremely dedicated to its duties. Look into what's going on. Handle this matter properly.'" The head of security looked completely bewildered. "Dedicated to our duties. That didn't sound like a compliment. Did someone cause trouble? They really know how to make a mess for me. I'm gonna go see exactly who was on duty. Worst case scenario, I'll just fire them. Even if I misunderstood, the principal wouldn't give me a hard time over some lowly guard, right? But if someone really did cause trouble, and I keep this guy around, I won't be able to shoulder the blame." The guard who stopped me was suddenly called in for a talk. His superior rambled on and on to him. He didn't remember any of it. In the end, he only remembered one sentence. "You don't need to come in tomorrow." He looked at his boss in disbelief, but his boss avoided his gaze. Feeling incredibly guilty inside, the guard stood there, stunned. So, just doing his job was also a mistake. Just then, a crisp voice rang out. "Mister, what are you doing here?" The guard turned his head and saw a girl with glasses standing next to him. He asked in confusion, "Miss?" The guard immediately called out respectfully. Zhou Miao laughed at the guard's words. "I'm no rich heiress. I'm just a girl from an ordinary family, so you don't need to be so respectful to me, mister." Hearing this, the guard immediately felt a connection with the girl. Turns out she was just an ordinary person, just like him. "Thank you, little girl. You need to study hard, strive for a bright future, and thank you for caring. I'm just leaving my job, just feeling a bit emotional about it, that's all." The guard didn't plan on going into detail, but he couldn't withstand the girl's relentless questioning. In the end, he had to tell her the whole story from beginning to end. Zhou Miao frowned deeply after hearing it. Then she comforted him. "It's okay, mister. I understand everything now. You should go home and rest for today. There will be an answer to this. Don't worry, I definitely won't let them fire you." Without waiting for the guard to reply, she ran toward the academic building, heading straight for my classroom. When she got there, she grabbed a random girl who was about to walk in. "Excuse me, could you call Gu Chen for me?" The girl nodded. Then she went into the classroom and took a look. She came back out and looked at her apologetically. She replied, "I'm sorry. Gu Chen isn't in the classroom. Maybe you can come back a bit later?" "Thank you. I got it." Early the next morning, I woke up feeling completely refreshed and went to school with Lu Feifei. As I walked through the school gates, I habitually glanced over. Seeing an unfamiliar face, I froze for a second. But I didn't think much of it and just walked straight into the academic building. As soon as I walked in, I saw Zhou Miao up ahead. I walked up to her cheerfully and greeted her, "Long time no see." "Good morning, Zhou Miao." Hearing this, Zhou Miao frowned and ignored me. Then she glared at me with dissatisfaction. Her stare made me pretty uncomfortable, so I asked, What's wrong with you? Who messed with you? Tell me, I'll get revenge for you. Zhou Miao spoke up. No one messed with me. I'm just in a bad mood, that's all. And it's not like I can do anything about it. Unlike you, young Master Gu, the whole world revolves around you. If you're unhappy, someone has to pay the price, right? Then, without even looking at me, she walked away without looking back. Zhou Miao's passive-aggressive attitude left me completely stunned. Seriously, what was her problem? What the hell was that all about? I went into my classroom and sat down, feeling pretty bummed out. Yu Xin glanced at me faintly and took the initiative to ask, "What's wrong with you?" I looked at Yu Xin gratefully. Tell me, why exactly is Zhou Miao so angry? Yu Xin was stunned by my question and stayed silent for a long time. Seeing her somewhat confused look, I suddenly remembered that I hadn't told her the whole story yet. My brain. After hearing it, Yu Xin got a thoughtful look on her face. I remember you telling me earlier that, after you sneaked out yesterday, you called the principal. Did you say something? I thought back for a second and said, I didn't really say anything. I was just hot-headed at the time. So I called the principal and said the security office was really dedicated to their duties. I didn't say anything else. Yu Xin was silent for a moment. She sighed softly and said to me, if I were the principal and I got your call, not knowing what was going on, I'd ask my subordinates. Your subordinates probably misunderstood. And as for Zhou Miao being angry, I'm guessing she probably empathized with the guard. What do you mean? I looked at her in confusion. You don't know? I thought you and Zhou Miao were pretty close. Please, just tell me. So Yu Xin explained it to me. Because Zhou Miao's college entrance exam scores were so high, the school poached her. They gave her a massive scholarship. And the reason she accepted it is because her family is very poor. Hearing this, I was shocked. Really? Looking at how Zhou Miao dresses, she doesn't look like a poor student at all. But then again, it might be because she carries herself like a lady from a wealthy family. So, no matter what clothes she wears, they never look cheap on her. Yu Xin continued, of course it's true. A lot of people know her family background is average, and she's from a single-parent household. Apparently, when her mom was working in the past, she was bullied by rich people, so she has a strong aversion to the wealthy. I didn't expect there to be so much juicy info. I thought to myself, no wonder she had that attitude toward me just now. She probably misunderstood me. You've probably seen it around campus a lot these past few days too. Guys confessing to her, right? Those guys are basically all rich kids. So you can imagine, they definitely got rejected on the spot. Then, what if it wasn't a rich kid confessing to her? Would her attitude be different? That, I don't know. I don't think that situation has ever come up. Our university is an elite school. Usually, anyone who can get in is either rich or powerful. Only a small minority get in based on outstanding grades, through special recruitment, but those guys with good grades tend to have an inferiority complex. It definitely wouldn't dare confess to her. I nodded in understanding. Thanks to Yu Xin's explanation, I slowly figured it out. No wonder Zhou Miao was so angry just now. She probably thought about how her mother was bullied by others. So based on what you said, I think she probably misunderstood you. She thought you bullied the guard just because you were in a bad mood. I really didn't mean it like that. I was a little annoyed at the time, sure, but I'm not the kind of arrogant jerk who just throws his weight around and bullies people because he's in a bad mood. Right after, Yu Xin sighed. Her cold voice rang out again. Honestly, this isn't the first time something like this has happened. This world has always been survival of the fittest. It's completely normal for things like this to happen. So, no matter how you look at it, I bear some responsibility for this too. I know what I have to do. What are you gonna do? Suddenly, we felt the area around us get inexplicably quiet. We looked up and saw the teacher at the podium staring right at us. Students, you're disrupting the others. If you want to talk, take it outside. We exchanged a glance, then obediently shut our mouths and listened to the lecture. Once class was over, I ran like the wind to find Zhou Miao. When I got to her classroom door, I stopped a girl. Hi, could you call Zhou Miao for me? Just tell her Gu Chen is looking for her. Thanks. Huh? It's you. Coming to confess so early today. Not bad, showing so much sincerity. I'm rooting for you. I'm not looking for her for that. Hey, just call her for me, alright? Since you're so handsome, I'll give you a hand. I think you've got a pretty good shot. Make sure you seize the opportunity. Zhou Miao, there's a really handsome guy outside. He says his name is Gu Chen. I waited outside, worrying whether Zhou Miao would even come out. I didn't expect her to actually come out. Do you need something? Her attitude was a bit cold, which made me feel pretty uncomfortable. I felt like she was still misunderstanding me. Give me a few minutes. Let's talk outside. So we walked out of the classroom and went to an empty space next to the academic building. I looked left and right. After making sure no one was watching, I faced her and said solemnly, about that security guard. I didn't do it. I didn't order anyone to do that. Don't worry. I'll figure out a way to fix it. But Zhou Miao, you were way out of line today. You didn't even know how the whole thing started, and you just pinned the blame on me. Do you think that's fair to me? After saying that, I turned around to leave. Zhou Miao looked at me. She was shocked by how serious I was. Seeing me about to leave, she suddenly jogged a few steps, grabbed my arm, and said, I'm sorry. I paused, but didn't look back. She said it again. I'm sorry. After hearing my explanation, she knew she had wrongly accused me. She originally thought I was just like the other guys, approaching her with an ulterior motive. So she subconsciously treated me like one of those guys who uses their power to bully others. She never expected that I would explain it to her so seriously about the security guard. Thinking of this, she suddenly smiled gently. This time, I turned around and said on purpose, I heard your apology, but I don't want to forgive you just yet. After saying that, I shook off her hand and left. Joe Meow stared blankly at my back, unable to look away for a long time. Then I went to the principal's office. Even though the class bell had already rung, I didn't have time to care. I barged right into the principal's office and immediately spoke up. I need to talk to you. I'm so sorry. I couldn't stop young Master Gu. The principal held his forehead in pain. He was originally angry and about to yell, but when he saw it was me, he immediately put on a smile. Ha ha ha, if it isn't young Master Gu. What can I do for you? Come, have a seat. You head out for a bit. Young Master Gu and I have some things to discuss. The secretary was dumbfounded. It was probably his first time seeing the principal being so friendly to a student. So doting. Snapping back to reality under the principal's gaze, he quickly left the room. Instead of sitting, I walked straight up to his desk, slammed my hand on it, and said, Uncle, why did you do that? I was just praising our school's security guard for being dedicated to his duties. Yes, I admit my tone wasn't great yesterday, but I really didn't mean it like that. Ah, fired? I just told the head of security to look into the situation. Ah, I never said to fire him. I didn't want to fire him. Uncle, you need to rehire that guard. Let him come back to work. Sigh. Uncle, let him come back to work. He really is quite dedicated to his duties. Having such a hardworking and devoted employee, we should be proud. The principal thought for a moment. All right then, since you put it that way, I can't really say no. But Gu Chen, you can't act like this in the future. Going around saying things out of anger just because you're mad. Since you're an adult now, you need to learn to take responsibility for your actions. I was stunned by the principal's words and started to reflect on myself. Once I figured it out, I bowed to the principal and said, I admit I was in the wrong here. How about this? After you rehire that guard, give him a raise. Of course, I'll cover the cost. It'll be issued under my personal name. After saying that, I took out my phone and transferred the money to the principal. Then I left the principal's office. Walking out of the office, I felt completely relaxed. Now that this matter was resolved, I couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. Humming a tune, I walked back toward the academic building. As I was walking, I ran into Lu Feifei. I looked at her curiously. Where are you going? Lu Feifei stopped but didn't say a word. She just crossed her arms and stared at me for a long time. Her stare made me feel completely baffled. Finally, she spoke. What were you doing in the principal's office? You went to the principal's office for that Zhou Miao, didn't you? Am I right? Say something. What? You know Zhou Miao? Lu Feifei pursed her pink lips and said sullenly, she and I have history. How could I not know her? Then she looked at me with utter disappointment. Gu Chen, you scumbag. The second you see a pretty girl, you just throw yourself at her without a second thought. Now, I finally get it. That miss you mentioned before was Zhou Miao all along, and when you suddenly wanted to get out of the car earlier, that was also because you saw Zhou Miao, wasn't it? That's why you ditched me, right? What exactly is your deal? If you're not into me, just say it, okay? It's not like I'm gonna cling to you and never let go. After saying that, she looked at me with teary eyes. Seeing Lu Feifei cry made my heart ache a little, so I gently explained, Feifei, I didn't mean it like that. I just see her as a friend, nothing more. A friend? The video of you two being all touchy-feely has already spread all over the school. Who doesn't know by now that you're the first guy Zhou Miao has ever treated differently? What video? What touchy-feely? Lu Feifei took out her phone and played a video for me. I leaned in to look. In the video, it was the scene of me talking to Zhou Miao just now, except because it was filmed from so far away. You couldn't hear what we were saying, but you could see our movements. Anyone who didn't know the context would definitely think there was something going on between us. No, you misunderstood. What did I misunderstand? Did you go look for her or not? Were you two being all touchy-feely or not? And that person you said gave you directions, the one you wanted to thank and take out to eat, that was her, wasn't it? You've only known her for a few days, and you already like her this much? Does she even know that you already have a girlfriend? She pounded her fist against my chest over and over. I stayed silent, suddenly feeling incredibly exhausted. I wiped my face, thinking about how wronged I felt too. Being inexplicably misunderstood by Zhou Miao today was one thing, but I never expected that even Lu Feifei wouldn't trust me. Ha ha ha. My baby. Every person's story has a. The answer is me. Lu Feifei was actually hiding in the corner of the stairwell. She looked up and didn't see me. She buried her head in her knees angrily. Gu Chen, you massive idiot. Tears welled up in her eyes once again. Lu Feifei suppressed her voice, sobbing quietly. How long had it been since she cried like this? She had been the apple of her family's eye since she was little. When had she ever suffered so much grievance? And that guy, Gu Chen, how could he do this? The more she thought about it, the angrier she got, and the more wronged she felt. She didn't know how long she cried. Just then, a pair of long legs appeared in Lu Feifei's blurry vision. Feifei. He finally used his brain and came looking for her. She was crying so pitifully, like a little bunny that had been wronged. Are you okay? I snapped out of my daze. Lu Feifei suddenly felt a bit embarrassed, not wanting me to see her looking such a mess. Hey, how did you find me here? Hearing her voice, I frowned slightly and asked, how long have you been hiding here crying? Lu Feifei didn't answer. She stood up and said to me, let's go. Let's talk outside. The two of us walked along the empty campus path. Because it was class time, there was no one around. It was completely deserted. I asked Lu Feifei, are you going back to class? She thought for a moment, shook her head, and said, no, I don't want to go back. Even without looking in a mirror, she could guess just how red her eyes were from crying. If she went back, the other students would be curious. Even though the campus was pretty big, walking around aimlessly would still draw attention. So the two of us walked to a small park. Then, we both spoke at the same time. I'm sorry. It's my fault. We both froze for a second, then looked at each other and smiled. I'm sorry, Feifei. I shouldn't have treated you like that. Zhou Miao and I really are just friends. I never expected that she would become a wedge between us. And what I said before, about getting food with her, it was just to thank her. As for that video, I was actually already about to leave. She was the one who reached out and grabbed me. After that, we kept our distance the whole time. I was wrong too. I should have trusted you. Honestly, I was just a little jealous. I felt like you were getting too close to Zhou Miao and ignoring me. That's why I was so upset. Even though I'm still pretty mad. But since you did end up finding me in the stairwell, you did good, and I did wrongly accuse you. So, let's call it even. I forgive you. Let's just go straight home. Your eyes need to be iced properly when we get back. Otherwise, you're gonna look like a panda tomorrow. Hearing my words, Lu Feifei glared at me again. I laughed out loud, put my arm around her shoulder, and got ready to head home. After getting home, we cleaned up a bit. It had been a long, tiring day, so we just got ready for bed and went to sleep. When we got to school the next day, I walked to the academic building and saw Zhou Miao's back appear in front of me again. So I reported to Lu Feifei. I'm gonna go say a few words to Zhou Miao. We didn't finish talking about that thing yesterday. After saying that, worried that Lu Feifei might get mad again, I quickly added, it'll be fast. I'll be back in 5 minutes. With that, I immediately ran over, leaving Lu Feifei to MPH softly and stepped to the side to wait for me. Zhou Miao, wait a sec. I called out to her. Zhou Miao turned around and smiled at me. Good morning, Gu Chen, about the security guard. After she heard me out, she replied in surprise. I didn't expect you to actually go to the principal. I already had the principal rehire the guard, so you don't need to worry. Zhou Miao apologized to me again. I really did wrongly accuse you. I'm so sorry. It's no big deal. Alright, I'm heading back to class. See ya. Bye. After saying that, I went to find Lu Feifei and we left together. At this point, I also walked to my own classroom, parting ways with Lu Feifei. Just as I was about to walk in, I saw Zhou Miao walking past. It was almost time for class. Why wasn't Zhou Miao going back to her classroom? There was only 1 minute left. So, out of curiosity, I followed her. On the other side, as soon as Lu Feifei sat down, the smile on her face vanished, turning cold again. Wu Qian walked over, trembling with fear, and asked cautiously, Miss? Lu Feifei's slender fingers tapped against the desk, looking extremely irritated. After a long while, she finally spoke. Go to the second classroom on the 3rd floor. Do something for me. Yes. Wu Qian agreed submissively, waiting for her next words. Go see if Gu Chen is in his classroom right now, and who he's talking to. Report any situation back to me, but don't let him know you're there. Got it? Understood. Lu Feifei waved her hand. The expression on her face seemed to relax a bit, revealing a faint smile. I'll go right away, Wu Qian said as she ran out of the classroom. However, not long after she walked out, she ran into Bai Qingrang coming up the stairs. Bai Qingrang was the most handsome guy among the sophomores. He was Lu Feifei's #1 admirer and considered himself Lu Feifei's boyfriend. As soon as she saw Bai Qingrang, Wu Qian quickly called out to him flatteringly, Brother-in-law, here to see the miss? She's waiting for you. Bai Qingrang had a pale complexion and naturally gave off an aloof vibe when he wasn't smiling. But once he smiled, that coldness instantly melted away. He nodded and asked, where are you off to? Buying something for her? No. The miss told me to go to the second classroom on the 3rd floor, to find someone for her. Find who? A guy? Yeah, a guy. His name is Gu Chen. Wu Qian was usually very good at sucking up to the men around the miss, so she answered every question. Gu Chen? What's his relationship with Lu Feifei? Wu Qian said awkwardly, I don't know about that. I'm just doing what the miss ordered. If I get any news, she wouldn't hide it from Bai Qingrang, even though she didn't know how long he'd stay by the miss's side. Giving him some perks to build a good relationship was also a way of buying favor. Who knows, it might come in handy later. He suddenly laughed and said to Wu Qian, I'm a little thirsty. Go to the convenience store and buy me a drink first. Get one for Feifei too. Seeing Wu Qian look a bit hesitant, Bai Qingrang glared at her. Who's more important, Gu Chen or me? Weigh it yourself. Looking at Bai Qingrang's arrogant demeanor, Wu Qian thought about how favored Bai Qingrang had been lately. maybe he'd break the record and become the man who stayed by Lu Feifei's side the longest. Plus, the miss didn't seem to be getting tired of him recently, and she didn't have any new targets. So, after weighing her options, she decided Bai Qingrang was a bit more important, so she quickly sucked up to him. Do you even need to ask? Of course, you're the most important. I'll go buy it right now. Don't worry. With me here, Feifei won't get mad. You can go buy the drinks and come back first. There's still time to go find that Gu Chen guy afterward. Of course. Brother-in-law, one word from you is worth 10 from anyone else. Alright, hurry up and go. Stop running your mouth. Watching Wu Qian walk away, indeed heading toward the convenience store, Bai Qingrang finally looked away and slowly walked toward the classroom. Feifei. As soon as he walked in, he headed straight for Lu Feifei. The desk next to Lu Feifei was always empty. Actually, it was specifically reserved for her friends to use when they came over. Bai Qingrang sat down in the chair next to her, threw his arm around her shoulder, and pressed himself against her familiarly. Not hearing any response from Lu Feifei, he finally noticed the atmosphere in the classroom was a bit weird. He looked up and saw Lu Feifei's expressionless face, and couldn't help but be startled. Putting on a caring look, he asked, Feifei, what's wrong? Who made you mad? Lu Feifei was already feeling a bit irritated. Seeing him here only made her more annoyed. Why are you here? I missed you. Bai Qingrang stared at her affectionately and said, but Lu Feifei wasn't paying attention. Her entire mind seemed to be preoccupied with something else. Bai Qingrang felt dissatisfied but didn't dare show it. His man's intuition told him, Lu Feifei must be thinking about Gu Chen right now. It wasn't long before Wu Qian came back with the drinks. She stopped at the door, panting heavily to catch her breath. Holding a drink in each hand, she walked over. Miss, your drink, she said as she placed the drinks in front of them. Lu Feifei's gaze shifted from the drinks to Wu Qian's face. Did I tell you to go buy drinks? Ah, I told her to go buy them. I care about you. I was worried you'd be thirsty. The air seemed to freeze for half a second. Suddenly, Lu Feifei shot him an aloof glance and said mercilessly, get out of my sight. I don't want to see you again. Bai Qingrang looked at her, shocked and bewildered, as if he never expected her to get so angry. Feifei, I know I was wrong. Don't chase me away. However, he miscalculated. Lu Feifei was in no mood to humor him right now. Don't make me say it twice. Okay. Did you do what I told you to do earlier? No, miss. Please don't be mad. I'll go right now. Bai Qingrang looked at Lu Feifei and said, so what you meant just now was, you want to break up with me? As if he had to get a clear answer before he'd be willing to believe it was true. Yes. Lu Feifei nodded in response. Starting today, don't ever show your face in front of me again. Why? How could she be so heartless? Even though he had heard before that the eldest Miss Lu wasn't exactly loyal, she could treat you incredibly well while you were dating, but was utterly ruthless after breaking up. Don't even dream that she'd care about your past feelings, or give a damn about you. But he had felt that he was different. Lu Feifei's words were like a bolt from the blue to Bai Qingrang, but to the other guys, it was the best news ever, especially the guys in the class. Which one of them hadn't squeezed their way into this class, just to get close to the eldest Miss Lu, hoping to be the first to catch her eye? Now this was perfect. The eldest Miss Lu was single again. That meant they all had a chance, so they didn't hold back against Bai Qingrang. They even mocked him, saying, get out, how can you be so shameless? The miss already told you to leave, and you're still clinging to her? Hurry up and leave. You're not allowed in our class anymore. Yeah, can't you see Lu Feifei is disgusted by you? Who do you think you are? Hurry up and get lost. Stop being an eyesore to Lu Feifei. Bai Qingrang's face turned pale. When had he ever endured such humiliation? Ever since he entered Shangde, with his good looks and a stroke of luck, he quickly became the miss's boyfriend, and because of that, he became the school's heartthrob. Because Shangde had an unwritten rule that the eldest Miss Lu's boyfriend was automatically considered the school's heartthrob. He had always enjoyed this honor, feeling like he was the center of the universe. But the higher he was praised before, the harder he fell now. Bai Qingrang finally couldn't handle the harsh words anymore and ran straight out. Lu Feifei didn't even spare him a glance, but her calm gaze swept across the room. Instantly, everyone shut their mouths. She was feeling very uneasy right now, an indescribable sense of unease, and she didn't even know why. She couldn't help but wonder. Just as she was about to stand up, Wu Qian came rushing over. Miss, the person you wanted me to find isn't in his class. I asked his classmates. They said he walked into the classroom and immediately walked right back out, and hasn't been back since. Lu Feifei's tone was a loaf. What? He didn't go back to class? Then where did he go? No wonder she had been feeling so uneasy. Her bad premonition had come true. I'm not sure about that either. She couldn't help but feel confused. What exactly was the relationship between this guy named Gu Chen and Lu Feifei? To make Lu Feifei care about him so much, Lu Feifei frowned, stood up, and said, even if you have to turn the whole school upside down, fin him. Did this guy offend Lu Feifei or something? This was the first time they had seen Lu Feifei throw such a huge temper and look so furious. Cold sweat beaded on Wu Qian's forehead. She felt dizzy. The classmates watching were all full of confusion, wondering what had happened. Who was the miss looking for? But no one dared to go up and ask, let alone make a sound. Right now, the miss was radiating an aura that screamed, stay away. Once Lu Feifei left the classroom, everyone looked at each other in dismay, then lowered their voices to discuss. Did you see that? The miss looks so gloomy. I don't think I've ever seen her this angry. Do you think the person she's looking for did something to piss her off? Looks like it. That guy is dead meat. Lu Feifei is terrifying when she loses her temper. Tell me about it. The reason Wu Qian was able to become the Mrs. Lackey, besides knowing how to suck up, was because she was highly efficient. She quickly went to the security guards to ask around. Meanwhile, Lu Feifei was pacing the hallway, feeling anxious and restless. But she didn't know what to do, so she just found an empty classroom and sat down, waiting for Wu Qian to return. Wu Qian came back to report. No students left the school halfway through the day today, so Gu Chen is definitely still inside the school. Getting this news, Lu Feifei's expression finally seemed to soften a bit. She then ordered Wu Qian, just like she had said, to turn the entire campus upside down and find Gu Chen. Even though Shangde's campus was massive, with Lu Feifei's influence, finding one person wasn't hard at all. In fact, it should have been a piece of cake, but what she never expected was that the result would be them not being able to find Gu Chen. She glared angrily at Wu Qian. How could you not find him? Cold sweat kept pouring down Wu Qian's forehead, but she didn't dare wipe it. She said timidly, we searched everywhere we could, even the teachers' offices and the student dorms, but we just couldn't find him. Maybe he's not in the school anymore. Not in the school anymore? What? Did he grow wings and fly out? The guards all said they never saw Gu Chen leave the school. If he's not still in the school, where else could he have gone? Miss, I can't figure it out either. Oh, right. It's also possible he had another way of leaving the school, a way that the guards wouldn't notice, or maybe he didn't leave through the main gate, so the guards didn't see him. Lu Feifei pondered for a moment and didn't reply. He had just transferred to Shangde. There was no way he'd know any other way out. So, this was the only somewhat reasonable explanation. Otherwise, how could Gu Chen just vanish into thin air again? I don't believe in ghosts or gods, so I don't think anything supernatural happened. But Gu Chen didn't tell me where he was going either, just disappearing inexplicably like this. What if something happened to him? She was terrified that he might have gotten into an accident. She didn't dare think too deeply about it. Wu Qian was basically a know-it-all at Shangde. She knew a thing or two about everything going on in the school, so she quickly put the pieces together. If he didn't leave through the main gate, what other ways are there to leave the school without being noticed? Oh, right, miss. Doesn't the school have security cameras? If we check those spots, we might find a clue. Lu Feifei had been so anxious that she had completely forgotten about this. She nodded and said, let's do that. Go check them right now. The security footage? Wu Qian looked at her awkwardly and said, but only the principal has the authority to view the security footage. I don't have the clearance to check it, so you'll have to do it yourself, miss. Lu Feifei said faintly, got it, and headed toward the principal's office. Wu Qian quickly followed behind her. Inside the principal's office, the chair behind the desk was occupied by Lu Feifei. Eldest Miss Lu, this is the school's security system. There are 300 camera feeds in total. You can check whichever ones you want. 300? That many? Lu Feifei frowned. Wu Qian took one look at her expression and knew exactly what she meant. So she stepped forward and said, Miss, why don't you let me look for him? No need, I'll do it myself. Wu Qian was a bit taken aback, but didn't dare say anything, so she took a step back and stood behind her, waiting for orders. Lu Feifei's slender fingers tapped nimbly on the keyboard. Even though it was her first time using this system, she seemed incredibly familiar with it. She didn't even ask the principal how to operate it, and was able to control it proficiently on her own. Wu Qian watched, dumbfounded. Even though the Mrs. Computer skills were usually limited to playing games, her operation of this system was practically flawless. Wu Qian had followed the miss for so long, yet she never knew that the miss was actually this skilled. Soon, Lu Feifei pulled up the locations Wu Qian had mentioned, those specific spots, playing 6 videos simultaneously. Fast-forwarding the time, she seemed able to take it all in at a glance, staring at the videos without blinking. Wu Qian stood behind her. Her eyes were practically crossing from watching. After just 10 minutes of watching, she felt her eyes getting dry and sore. But Lu Feifei seemed completely unaffected, and sped up the playback even more. Another 10 minutes passed. Wu Qian felt her head throbbing, almost unable to take it anymore. But she didn't dare slack off and kept staring at the videos. Suddenly, Lu Feifei shouted, Ah, found him. Wu Qian jumped in fright and quickly leaned in toward the screen. In the security footage, I was slowly walking out from the small path on the school's back mountain, holding a freshly bought soda in my hand, looking completely relaxed. Lu Feifei tapped her fingertips hard against the desk. Her tense expression finally relaxed a fraction. She muttered under her breath, half angry, half amused. He actually hid on the back mountain. Gu Chen, you bastard. You drove me crazy looking for you. Seeing the miss looking so anxious and annoyed, Wu Qian couldn't help but ask quietly, Miss, are you going to the back mountain to find him now? Lu Feifei took a deep breath. Suppressing the panic in her heart, she stood up and walked out. Of course I'm going to find him. I'm going to ask him why he hid away without saying a word, and made the whole school run around looking for him. I enjoyed the breeze on the back mountain for a bit, and was just about to head back to class when I saw Lu Feifei walking briskly toward me. Her eyes were slightly red. It was obvious she had been worried sick. My heart softened. Just as I was about to apologize, Lu Feifei walked right up to me, raised her hand, and lightly punched my chest. Gu Chen, do you know how worried I was about you? I thought something happened to you. I turned the whole school upside down, even checked the security cameras. And you were actually hiding here, slacking off. Class was just too boring. I wanted to come out and get some fresh air. I didn't expect to make you so worried. I'm sorry, Feifei. I quickly grabbed her hand and explained softly. She glared at me, but didn't pull her hand away. Don't do this again. Even if you're going out, you have to tell me. I smiled and nodded, reached out and ruffled her hair. Got it, my fiancé. Hearing the word fiancé, Lu Feifei's cheeks instantly turned red. She pushed me lightly. Who's your fiancé? Don't flatter yourself. Looking at her shy demeanor, my heart was filled with warmth. From being forced into an engagement, to living together and bickering, to having misunderstandings because of Zhou Miao, I finally realized that I had long since fallen for this childhood friend, who I had grown up arguing with. I had also completely cleared things up with Zhou Miao. We were just ordinary friends. She understood my feelings too, and smilingly gave her blessings to me and Lu Feifei. Yu Xin remained her usual aloof self, occasionally greeting me. We maintained the perfect distance as classmates. As for the security guard who was fired due to a misunderstanding, not only did I have the principal rehire him, I also paid out of pocket to give him a raise. The guard thanked me profusely, and I finally understood that I couldn't just throw my family's weight around and do whatever I wanted. I had to learn to respect everyone. Lu Feifei also completely cut ties with Bai Qingrang and focused entirely on our relationship. We were no longer as playful and willful as before. We went to class together, left school together, and went back to the apartment together, occasionally bickering, but always making up quickly. Soon, we successfully graduated. The Lu family didn't rush us anymore. Instead, they respected our wishes. After we were both fully prepared, we held a warm and beautiful wedding. On the day of the wedding, Lu Feifei wore a pure white wedding dress, looking at me with her eyes curved in a smile, her eyes filled with endless tenderness. He held her hand and made a solemn promise amidst the blessings of our family and friends. Lu Feifei, we've been bickering since we were kids. I thought we'd be rivals forever, but now I know. You're the person I want to cherish most in this life. From now on, I'll take good care of you. We'll never be apart for the rest of our lives. Gu Cheng, I do. Lu Feifei's eyes welled up with tears as she smiled and replied. Father Lu, Mother Lu, and Grandpa Lu sat in the audience, their faces filled with pride and joy. The household staff also smiled and clapped. Zhou Miao and Yu Xin, attending as guests, offered their most sincere blessings as well. After getting married, we remained just as sweet as when we were dating. Occasionally, we'd reminisce about the funny arguments we had as kids. I finally understand now. The best kind of love isn't about some earth-shattering encounter. It's about the companionship of childhood sweethearts. It's about how, even after all the endless bickering, you still want to spend the rest of your life with each other. From then on, Lu Feifei and I stayed by each other's side, living life in earnest, cherishing one another, and turning our days into the perfect picture of happiness.